Every movement can either be performed freely, without much thought, or be performed in a standardized fashion, from jogging to lifting weights, or pushing a wheelbarrow to painting. Karate also benefits from this approach. Before jumping straight into kata, fundamental standards, such as breathing and bracing, must be practiced on very simple movements. This is referred to as the granular method, taking something seemingly simple and breaking it down into its core components. I'll use the sword to help demonstrate. Holding the sword properly would be the first step. The basic swings of makogiri, keisagiri, and yaku keisagiri would be the next progression. But several technical details need to be understood. What is the angle? How far back do I raise the sword? What section of the sword is supposed to cut? Where does the cut stop? When do I inhale and exhale? And how to practice with these details in mind. Before applying any footwork, speed, or power, it's best to stand still and softly move the bokken through the lines while adhering to the prescribed detail points we discussed. From here, progressing forward could be engaging to power the swing's initiation and the reinforcement to stop the cut. Timing the breath cycles with the swings, thinking about the feet grounding, applying footwork, using a Iaido, applying these cuts to kata. Starting with Seiken and Chudan Uke, the shape and movement pattern need to be taught and practiced in a standing position, Dachi. Connect breathing with movement. Start introducing power through engagement. Now, without the arms, introduce Sanchin Dachi and start stepping forwards and backwards with only the detail points in mind. Then start timing the breath, engagement, and grounding with each step. Then add the Tsuki while stepping forward, and the Uke while stepping backwards. The next thing I would focus on is learning Sanchin Kata, using the granular method to break it down. Practicing and holding Sanchin no Kamae and repeating the Tsuki, then stepping forwards and backwards while holding this position. Learning the Kihon, Yote Nukete, and Muashuke. Memorizing the steps of the kata. Start adding the standards of Sanchin Kata, which sets the foundation for the Goju-Ryu curriculum. With an understanding of the granular method and the standards of Sanchin Kata, the ideal next step would be learn and practice the blocks Chudan Uke and Uke, and the stances Shiko Dachi, Zenkutsu Dachi, Neko Dachi, and Kosa Dachi. Slowly over time, this granular method merges with the accuracy, power, and speed progression step framework, which is applied throughout the Goju-Ryu curriculum. With a baseline of knowledge and ability, a macro view of the remaining training follows. Learning and practicing the remaining techniques, strengthening the movement patterns through karate strength training, employing the stances and techniques in a simple and repeatable manner through training routines, utilizing all 9 progression steps in each kata, understanding the interpretation behind the grouping of techniques found in kata through bunkai. Karate is a lifelong pursuit, requiring one's focus to cycle from one subject to another. Appreciating and accepting the cyclical nature of training highlights the necessity of understanding and applying this granular method constantly throughout training. With humility and determination, bringing ourselves back to basics sets the foundation along the path to pursue karate.